Welcome, Srinath. Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Welcome, Srinath. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good evening, my dear students. Welcome, Srinath. I like to invite Mr. Srinath, sir, gold medalist, taxation faculty. He is going to address how to do the presentation for direct taxation. It will be more useful for coming September examinations. Welcome, Pana. Welcome. Over to Mr. Sriram.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this opportunity, sir. So you are calling me sir. It is sir. So you should call me only Srinath. So being so I know Hariharan sir right from 2008. So at least 17 years. For the last 17 years, I know, sir. So he has been my tutor for various sessions. First, when I presented a paper in Sikasa as a student, and I was doing my intermediate. Sir was the chairman for that particular session. From that time, I have been knowing sir. So I have attended his classes also. So from that time, I know. So it is like 17 years I have been associated with sir now. Thank you for this opportunity, sir.
Welcome, Pana. Thank you. Thank you.
So now we will talk about what are the various strategies that you have to use for the purpose of effectively clearing your CA intermediate in the September attempt. I only hope that you are all listening properly. It's like little bit late night, but still I know you will be really interested in understanding what we are discussing. So Rombo first very critical thing that you need to understand under taxes, whatever you studied for May 2025, if someone has already studied, same thing is applicable for September 2025. நிறைய பேர் என்ன டவுட் பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா ஏதாவது அமெண்ட்மெண்ட் இருக்கா, அந்த அமெண்ட்மெண்ட் நான் என்ன பண்ணணும், அந்த அமெண்ட்மெண்ட் படிக்கணுமா? May 2025 யாராவது படிச்சிருந்தாங்கன்னா சேம் திங் would be applicable for September 25 also. சரி, May 2025 படிக்க is the first attempt அப்படின்னா what is that you have to concentrate? How do you need to try attempt for this, sir? What are the various small tips that you have to remember? Now, first, tax la vandu theory questions is very minimum. Now I will talk about paper 3A, that is income tax. Income tax subject is 50 marks. The other 50 marks would be GST. And the 50 marks, that is for income tax, paper 3A, adula romba minimum will be for your what I call it as theory questions. Minimum na evlo? Somewhere around 5 marks we will be there. I will not say more than 5 marks. Generally 45 marks it will be only practical type of questions. Out of 50, 45 marks will be only practical type of questions. Adula weightage. எந்த டாபிக்கு என்ன weightage? அதுல எதெல்லாம் கான்சென்ட்ரேட் பண்ணணும்? So first point theory question ரொம்ப minimum, very minimum. அத விட்டா கூட பிரச்சனை கிடையாது. என்ன கேட்பாங்க? ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிளுக்கு, யாருக்கெல்லாம் PAN mandatory? எந்த டைம்க்குள்ள PAN வாங்கணும்? செக்ஷன் 139A ல இருக்கு. இல்ல ஆதார் நம்பர் எங்கெல்லாம் கோட் பண்ணணும்? ஆதார் நம்பர் யாருக்கெல்லாம் அப்ளிகபிள்? அந்த மாதிரி வெரி பேசிக் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் தான் இருக்கும். இதெல்லாம் நம்ம தியரி கொஸ்டின்ஸ் சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கோம். ஸோ தியரி கொஸ்டின்ஸ் கம்ப்ளீட்டா 4 மார்க், அதுக்கு மேல சான்ஸே கிடையாது தியரி கொஸ்டின்ஸ்ல. ஸோ மெயினா இப்ப இன்கம் டாக்ஸ்ல எது கான்சென்ட்ரேட் பண்ணணும்னா ப்ராக்டிக்கல் டைப் ஆஃப் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் தான் கான்சென்ட்ரேட் பண்ணணும். அதுல வந்து வெயிட்டேஜ், ஒரு டாபிக்கும் நம்ம வெயிட்டேஜ் டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணுவோம். நான் ஒரு எக்ஸல் ஷீட்ல போடுறேன். என்ன வெயிட்டேஜ் ஃபார் ஈச் அண்ட் எவ்ரி டாபிக். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து ரெசிடென்சியல் ஸ்டேட்டஸ். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டாபிக் என்ன நமக்கு பேசிக் டாக்ஸ், அது வச்சுக்கலாம். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து பேசிக். அந்த பேசிக்ஸ் என்னலாம் இருக்கும், என்ன ரேட்ஸ் ஆஃப் சாரி ரேட்ஸ் ஆஃப் டாக்ஸ் என்னன்னு இருக்கும். அப்புறம் செகண்ட் ரெசிடென்சியல் ஸ்டேட்டஸ் அண்ட் ஸ்கோப் ஆஃப் டோட்டல் இன்கம். ரெசிடென்சியல் ஸ்டேட்டஸ் அண்ட் ஸ்கோப் ஆஃப் டோட்டல் இன்கம், இது செகண்ட் டாபிக். இந்த ரெண்டு டாபிக்கு சேர்ந்து somewhere between 5 to 10 marks. Somewhere between 5 to 10 marks இந்த ரெண்டு டாபிக்ஸ் சேர்ந்து பேசிக்ஸ் அண்ட் ரெசிடென்சியல் ஸ்டேட்டஸ். அதுல வந்து அக்ரிகல்ச்சர் இன்கம் டாக்ஸபிலிட்டி இருக்கும், அசஸ்மெண்ட் இயர் ப்ரீவியஸ் இயர் மீனிங் இருக்கும், அப்புறம் வந்து ரேட்ஸ் ஆஃப் டாக்ஸஸ் இருக்கும், அப்புறம் வந்து கம்ப்யூட்டேஷன் ஆஃப் டாக்ஸ் பேயபிள் இருக்கும். இது எல்லாமே சேர்ந்து somewhere between 5 to 10 marks. நெக்ஸ்ட் ஹெட்ஸ் ஆஃப் இன்கம். இதுதான் மேஜர் சங்க். ஹெட்ஸ் ஆஃப் இன்கம் தான் மேஜர் சங்க். இதுல வந்து somewhere around 15 மார்க்ஸுக்கு இருக்கும். இதுல வந்து அரௌண்ட் 15 மார்க்ஸுக்கு it would be on the heads of income. Again, நம்ம என்ன we should understand very very clearly, it is only for 50 marks that we are discussing. Heads of income, salary, house property, PGBP, capital gains, other sources. இந்த heads of incomeல salary, house property, other sources, அது வந்து பெருசா ஃபைனல் லெவல்ல they are not discussing at all. It is not discussed. That means importance is at intermediate. Salary and house property importance is at intermediate. So I will keep it in English so that others also, whoever is non-Tamil, they will also understand properly. So house property, salary and other sources predominantly it is tested at intermediate. But you should not leave PGBP and capital gains also. Capital gains, according to me, it is very important because Finance Act 2024 has made major amendments in capital gains. So in capital gains, there are so much that we need to concentrate. So in capital gains, till 23rd July, there are some different provisions. From 23rd July 2024, the different provisions are applicable. Meaning of long term, short term is different. Rates of tax, long term, short term, different. Long term indexation itself is not available. So the way that you do the capital gain is entirely different. From 23rd of July till 23rd of July is different. So you have to be very, very careful while you are doing problems in capital gains. So look into when there is a change or when there is a transfer. If the transfer date is after 23rd of July, new provisions of capital gains would be applicable. If it is before 23rd of July, old provisions of capital gain would be applicable. So what you need to therefore be careful while doing capital gain problem is, what is the date of transfer? And capital gain will definitely be part of your examination. And because there is so much of amendments that they have brought in, you should concentrate on this capital gains. So again, coming back to our part, heads of income will be for around 15 marks. Then what is the next one? The next one is about carry forward of losses, chapter 6A reductions, and clubbing provisions. These are the next topic. This topic will be for again somewhere again for 10 marks. Around 10 marks, not exactly, it cannot be the same thing, it will be around 10 marks. So what are those? Clubbing provisions, set off and carry forward of losses, then chapter 6 deductions. So you have to be again very careful on what is the problem requirement. If the problem tells you very specifically that you have to solve the problem using old regime, then you will solve it with old regime and all chapter 6A reductions would be applicable. If the problem is silent, then you have to use only default regime, that is the new regime, where most of the chapter 6 reductions will not be applicable. 90-95% of the chapter 6 reductions are not applicable. If the problem also tells you you have to use default regime, you should use default regime. So if the problem is silent, you have to concentrate and start using only new regime. That you have to be very careful while you are doing that. So carry forward, chapter 6 reductions and clubbing will be for again 10 marks. Next, what is the next one? TDS, advanced tax, and filing return of income. For that, again, it would be for 10 marks. Again, TDS, advanced tax, TDS and SA TDS, it also includes TCS, advanced tax, and return of income. All these things put together would be for again 10 marks. Then, computation of total income and tax payable. This again, predominantly, it's all relating to your heads of income, chapter 6 deductions, and carry forward. All those things put together. All those things put together would be for somewhere around 10 to 12 marks. Would be for around 10 to 12 marks. This is the weightage of your tax paper. So you cannot afford missing heads of income, whatever I am highlighting. You cannot afford missing the total income because these two put together would be more than 25 marks. Somewhere between 25 to 30 marks. That is 50% of your paper will be on these two topics. But it is little bit large, little bit heavy also. Now, this is about the weightage. On this weightage, there is no compromise at all. You have to ensure you spend adequate time on this. Now, sir, my exams, it's hardly 10 days, 15 days. No, I will not be having time to read all these things. Can you tell me few topics which I can leave? Conveniently leave so that it will not affect my marks. It is not going to affect any of those things. Then topics that you can afford leaving because of time. What is that? You can maybe ignore filing that return of income. You can ignore advanced tax. You can ignore clubbing provisions. But take it from me, friends. I am not saying it will not be tested and all, but little bit lower on weightage. Clubbing provisions, if at all you want, you can ignore. But don't ignore PGBP. Don't ignore capital gains. Definitely you should not ignore. Definitely you should not ignore. Maybe in your basics chapter, there would be few items where you can basic chapter you can leave except for your rates of taxes. Rates of taxes you cannot afford leaving. Other than that, basics whatever you have got you can leave. These are the topics which I will say you can conveniently leave. You can conveniently leave, but please ensure that you are not leaving PGBP. Many people before they get into the examination, they say, "Sir, I have not prepared a PGBP. Is it okay?" No, don't do it, because PGBP or capital gains will mostly be the first question. So you should not miss that. You cannot come back and say, "I left PGBP for purpose of my intermediate." No, please don't do it. Now, this is about the weightage which I thought I will start with. Now, Next, about your preparation. About your preparation for your taxes. What is that you have to do? Now, you have to first ensure this is with a limited time that you have got. Around 10 days of time is what it's available. With that limited time, what is that you have to do? Preparation. One, first ensure you write at least one model paper. At least one model paper. Why I am telling you this? It is like you take an example of a cricket tournament. You can keep practicing in the nets, but unless you play one match before the actual starting, let's say there is a World Cup that happens. Before World Cup, there will be 2-3 practice matches that they will be, but every team will be playing. I cannot do only net practice. What is net practice here? Keep solving in my home or keep solving some problems. You should adapt to the examination environment and ensure that you prepare properly to that. Like, take one paper. You don't need to do any kind of get into any kind of this one. You can sit in your home or write if there is no time also. For example, take some past examination question paper. Take it, start, let's say you start the same thing, start maybe at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, have a watch, exactly at 5 o'clock stop. See how much you have written. And you yourself value if you are not able to get something. Or if there is Premier Academy is conducting something, you go and attend that. It's actually very good. I have tried. So try that. Now, once you try, once you write the examination, you know where do you stand. If at all you have to correct some areas, you can correct it immediately. So first and foremost thing that you have to do is write your exams at the earliest, because you will have time for correcting yourself if there is a requirement to do. Second, so we are now talking about what are the items that you have to do, preparation relating to your taxes. First is about writing one model paper. Second, ensure you prepare all the latest amendments. That is, whatever is brought in by Finance Act 2024. The amendments that are brought in by Finance Act 2024, major portions will be on this. Major portions will be on this. That's why I keep saying you have to ensure that you have to ensure capital gains you cannot afford living. That much important is that capital gains. So, major amendments, if there are, concentrate that. Finance Act 2024 amendments are very, very critical for your examination. Then, what is the next step? Third, take the RTP that is given for your exams and solve all problems in RTP. Do not say, I have solved like a 50% of RTP or 30% of RTP. Like that, don't say. Please don't say. Ensure you solve the entire RTP. Again, why is that I am telling you? Under tax, RTP gives you the latest amendment, whatever is amended, it gives you, and there are some questions that are repeated straight from RTP. So September 2025 RTP is available. In that it starts with case laws, case study, and each and every topic there is one problem that you will have. Solve it. When you solve it, friends, please ensure that you solve the problem. I know many of them, what they will do, they will take the RTP, they will take one pen, RTP they will take in their hand, they will take one pen. So what they will do, they will see the question, they will see the answer and then put one tick in the answer. What are we doing? CA, institute, they are given the RTP properly, like that we are ticking, we are correcting RTP. No, don't do it, friends. Please don't do it. You take the RTP, you solve the RTP, you see the questions, don't see the answer, solve RTP. Do not see the answer first. And then after you solve, check with your answer. That is when you will learn. If you take the question, answer, okay, there is a profit as per P&L. Okay, so 10 lakh 50,000. Okay, in P&L that is that I'll put a ticker. R expenditure not allowed as deduction. Sorry, under that CSR expenses. Oh, section 37 not allowed. You put a tick here, you put a tick there. You will not learn that. You will only, feel that you have learned, but you would not have learned. You have to ensure that you write, you solve properly, you put the problems, you put the answers, then check your answers with the answers given them. And you should not solve it. You should not solve it in you need not. I'll not put like you need not solve it like an exam. At least to solve it and get that feeling that you are able to solve those things. That once you get that answer, that happiness will help you to travel. So all problems in RTP you should be solving. Don't dilute. Again, I will tell you one more point. If time permits, take May 25 RTP also. This RTP that is September 25 RTP has got 10 problems. If time permits, take May 25 RTP and solve it, because that will also be only assessment at 25-26. That will also be assessment at 25-26. So you have to ensure that you should solve the RTP and not put a tick mark. That will not help you at all. Fourth, very, very critical for tax paper. Solve problems from ICA material. Take ICA material. Every topic, solve at least 4 problems. Minimum 4 problems. So you will have some 15 topics. Heads of income, 5 heads of income. Every head of income, you should solve 4 problems. And when you are solving those problems, again you solve, don't look into the answer. After you finish solving, look into the answer and check if at all you have got correctly or not. There will be a mistake. Don't be bothered, but you solve. You cannot say, let's say I solve 4 problems per topic. There are, let's say, 15 topics. I solve 60 problems. You cannot get all 60 problems right. If you get all 60 problems right, then there is serious issue with you. Because you are all student. You are all learning, right? All 60 problems I get it correct. A serious problem with you. You should not be intermediate student. Then, so you will make a mistake. Then see what is the mistake you have done. Correct it. So that you will not repeat that mistake in examination. So every chapter, you should solve at least 4 problems. Institute material you take. No need for any other material. But ensure that you are taking your September attempt material. You should take only assessment year 25-26, not some other assessment year. I bought the book somewhere earlier. I registered the intermediate in 2024 itself. So I got that. No, don't use that material. I know you will be aware of all those things. But institute material take for assessment in 25-26. And I know there are problems which are just copy pasted from the institute material. So if you are solving those problems, then ideal thing is all problems in institute material you should solve. But you cannot have ideal things, right? So you should solve at least 4 problems from each topic. Each topic you should solve 4 problems. Then point number 5. So again, I'll repeat those 4 It's already available on the screen, but for the sake of this one, I'll quickly tell you. Write at least one model paper. You cannot afford missing it. All latest amendments, you have to be thorough. How do you know what are the latest amendments if it is not available with you? Just to Google Finance Act 2024 amendments applicable for intermediate. You will get many items. Just read those items. Read those things. RTP, solve all problems. There are only 10 problems that is there, plus some case studies. You should solve all the problems. Then fourth one, you should solve 4 problems from each and every topic in the institute material. Fifth one, MCQs, you should practice. Practice MCQ. How do you need to read MCQ in Income Tax Act? Read the question. Do not look into the options. Do not look into the options. You will have 4 options. No, don't look into. You solve it. Then look at the options. You will find one. If you look at the options and then solve, you will get confused. All 4 might look correctly. Then what you will do? Inky, pinky, ponky, key, or extra key, bollama, or extra key, like that only you will do. So please ensure you solve all. MCQs, sufficient practice is required for MCQs. 15 marks will be for MCQs. In tax paper, 15 marks will be for MCQs. Out of that 15, you should target getting 12, 13. You should target getting the 12, 13. If you get the 12, 13, then that's it. You can easily score out of 50, some 30, 35 marks. You can easily score in tax. Maybe another 30 marks, you will get exemption itself in tax. Another 30 marks in your GST, you will get exemption. So in tax, you should get at least 12, 13 marks out of 15 marks in MCQ. How do we solve? Read the question. Don't look into the answer at all. How do you do it? Cover your answer with your answer sheet. Look and lean to the question. Human beings, no, you will tend to do it. Don't do it. Look only the question, solve it, then look at the answer. You will get it correctly. So these are the tips that you have to do for preparing your tax papers. Preparing your tax paper. Now, tips for writing your tax paper. That is after, this is before you enter your examination hall. Before you enter your examination hall. This is tips for writing your tax paper. In your examination hall, what is that you have to do? I keep telling many of my students that wherever I take classes, on a very lighter note, that examination hall is such a wonderful place where the connection to the brain gets switched off automatically. How we will do? No, what type of mistakes and all we'll do in examination? No, 2 plus 1, we will take it as 4. See, Google itself, Excel itself saying it's wrong. 2 plus 1, we will take it as 4. That type of mistakes we will do. From first standard, we know 2 plus 1 is 3. That's why it's a wonderful place where the connection to the brain becomes, it gets switched off automatically. The moment we come out of examination hall, we'll all become again Albert Einstein. We'll all become Albert Einstein, but that is a wonderful place. So many people feel very, very jittery in the examination hall. Jittery, they feel very frightened in examination. No. Just an examination hall. You are not asked to face, a lion in the lion's den, or you are not asked to climb the Mount Everest. Just a normal. So you should first relax yourself. Now, writing tax paper. How do you need to do it? Always you will be given some time for the reading the question paper. You start with any number that you want. Any order that you want, you write. For example, if at all you have studied the salary, probably there will mandatorily be one problem on salary, some problem on house property. Start with the problem. Writing section number is not mandatory at intermediate. Not mandatory. Let's say problem gives you like this. Let's say problem gives you like this. There is a problem on gratuity. You have to find out what is the taxable gratuity. So what you will do? You will say list of the following. List is allowed as deduction under section 10, subsection 10. This is the real provision. So examination hall, you are not able to remember this section 10, subsection 10. Don't do it. So you say list of the following is allowed as deduction as per provisions of Income Tax Act 1961. That's it. Then write. What is important in tax paper is writing the relevant provisions. Don't jump into the answer. You have to first write the relevant provision. Give reasons. You have to write the relevant provision. Give reasons for all items. For example, after 23rd of July, when you compute long-term capital gain, indexation is not there. You will not do indexation. Problem will give indexation number. CIA number problem gives you. You will not correctly, you will not do it. Not required. But you should tell that from 23rd of July 2024, indexation is not available. That you should tell. If you are not telling and you are only solving the problem, you will not get full marks. So in tax paper, please understand, it is not an arithmetic paper. It is not a mathematics paper where only numbers you will do, you will get marks. No, you will not. Tax paper, please understand, it's a tax paper. You have to write the relevant provisions of Income Tax Act. Whatever is the relevant provisions of the Income Tax Act, that has to be mandatorily written. So what is the relevant provision? For example, 23rd of July, you are not eligible for indexation. That is the state. You have to write the relevant provisions. Where it is given, section 48, it gives you. If you are not remembering that, you say, as per Income Tax Act 1961, from 23rd of July, there is no indexation available for long-term capital gain. Write like that. And then you go ahead and do. Another example. Let's say bonus shares are received. If bonus shares are received, how will you compute capital gains? So full value of, I say you have received bonus shares and you are selling it. Full value of consideration, you will get amount. Then you will say list cost of acquisition. What is cost of acquisition for bonus shares? 0. Right. Bonus shares cost is 0. On the right hand side itself, you write. Or list cost of acquisition you are given. Just write here itself. Bonus share cost is 0. Like that you write. Then you go ahead and fill up. So writing the relevant provisions, giving reasons is not only for one, for all items that you are doing, you should give the relevant reasons. And please bear it in mind, step marks are there for tax. So you should write all the proper steps. Don't ignore the steps. Don't ignore the steps. Sometimes when you ignore the step, you will end up doing a mistake also. You will end up doing a mistake also. For example, in house property, in your income from house property, how will you do? You will have gross annual value. From the gross annual value, you will reduce municipal taxes. Then you will have net annual value. Then you will have 30% of net annual value. Then you will have interest. Step by step you do. Don't do everything in calculator and then put the numbers there. So you have arrived at gross annual value 1 lakh. Municipal tax 3,000 allowed as deduction. Then net annual value 97,000. All you are doing in calculator. Nothing you are showing in paper. How will the examiner know what is that you have written? So you need not write very neatly. I will underline every point. What are all important points I will underline? No, it's not a Rangoli competition and all. Write legibly, that's all. You don't need to write very neatly, slowly. I will write neatly, cursive handwriting. Not at all required. You should write in a manner that he understands. That's it. That is required. That is what is required. But you should write step by step. You should not ignore any step. So I have computed gross annual value in calculator. Municipal tax I have reduced in calculator. Net annual value calculator. 30% calculator. Interest calculator. Then I will write only one. Income from house property. You will not get due marks, friends. Take it from me. It's all step by step. For finding out gross annual value, you will have half mark or 1 mark. Municipal tax, 1 mark. Net annual value, you will have half a mark. Like this it will go. Right? Net annual value, you will have half a mark. Then here again 1 mark. Here again 1 mark. House property for computing, again it will be half a mark. That is how you will have 5 mark problem on your house property computation. Or every step it will be half a mark. Like that, there will be some marks that will be given for each and every step. You have not written the step. Final answer correct. How much you will get? These step marks and all you will lose. Unnecessary. After doing it correctly, why should you lose the marks? So step by step, you have to write in tax. In tax, step marks are extremely critical. Step marks are extremely critical. Next, always, this is not only for tax, any subject you write, always write anything that you know properly. Some chapter you would have mastered in tax. Assuming salary you have mastered in tax, problem, the question paper start with salary. You know salary, any problem you ask, I will do. Then take a search for a salary problem, it will definitely be there. Start with it. So always start with a problem which you know the most, or which you know, which you are confident of doing, which you are confident, extremely confident of doing, start with that. So these are and you should ensure that for paper 3, direct tax and GST put together, you have got for 100 marks and you have got 3 hours. So 50 marks, 1.5 hours. With this 1.5 hours will be 90 minutes. 1.5 hours will be 90 minutes. That means for each mark, for 1 mark that you take, you should take only 1.5 minutes. That means if it is, let's say 6 mark question, you should finish within 9 minutes. You have it in your watch, exactly time. 6 mark question you are starting, 9 minutes you should complete that. Sir, I am very slow, I will not be able to complete. Suddenly I get I get a doubt, I get stuck up. You are not able to complete 9 minutes, take up 1 extra minute. 10th minute, if you are not able to complete, leave it, go to the next problem. 6 mark problem, I do it for 25 minutes. Gone. One of the major constraint in examination is your time. In examination, they don't come back and say, I will give the question paper for 100 marks. You can write for any number of hours you want. No. There are so many constraints in examination. I have not read properly, knowledge constraint. I have not prepared properly, preparation constraint. I don't have time constraint. Time constraint is big problem in examination. I know many persons who will come back and say, I have not completed the paper, sir. I have written only for 60 marks. I have done only for 70 marks. How will you clear? So you should write minimum 90 marks in examination. Minimum 90 marks you should write. Now, so what happens? 6 mark you should complete in 9 minutes. Like that. If you for 50 marks, you would be able to complete around 80 minutes. Ideally, it should be only 75 minutes. But here and there, 1 or 2 minutes will go off. So 50 marks you will be able to complete in 80 minutes. You will still have 10 minutes time. Some problem you would have left in between. Go and check those problems and finish that in 10 minutes. So at least you would be able to write the entire question paper. Time management is very, very critical. You cannot afford wasting time in examination hall. You cannot afford wasting your time. So 100 marks 3 hours, 50 marks will be 190 minutes. Every mark you should be able to finish in 1.5 minutes. So 10 mark problem now, 15 minutes you should be able to finish off. If you are not able to finish off in 50 minutes, 1 or 2 minutes you can take extra. So that's why 50 marks you should be able to finish in 75 minutes, but 1 or 2 minutes here and all will go off. 80 minutes will go. So balance 10 minutes you will have. In that 10 minutes, you should go back and finish wherever you have left some problem in between. So out of 50 marks, minimum 45 you should be able to write. If you are not writing for 45, then it's very, very difficult. That's why you should ensure that you should write at least for 45 marks in direct tax paper. So these are all some points which you should be remembering while writing your tax paper. So write the relevant provisions, step marks is important. Start with the problem which where you are extremely confident of solving. Now, this is preparation. That is from today till your examinations. Till your examination, how do we need to prepare? How do we need to prepare? That is September 4th is your examination, I think. So September 4, 7 and 9th, 7, 9, I think. Those are all your examination dates. So you should be very careful on this. Now, coming to our discussion here. What are the, that is, these items should be done from today till your examination. Minutes before your examination. Minutes before you enter your examination hall. Minutes before you enter your examination hall. You should write in a sheet of paper. You should do all these things earlier itself. What are all the deductions that are not available under default regime? Read. Write it in a sheet of paper. Keep it readily available. Before you enter the examination, quickly glance through. Quickly glance through. This is very important. Under section 115 BAC, what are all the deductions that are not available? For example, HRA is not available. You cannot get a deduction for various items under salary. You will not be getting the deductions at all. No deductions. You will standard deduction is 75,000. Professional tax you will not get the deduction. You cannot get chapter 6A deductions. Additional depreciation is not available. Like this, so much that you have got. Deductions that are not available under section 115 BAC, that you write it in a sheet of paper. Self-occupied property, you cannot claim interest. Loss, you cannot get loss, you cannot set off. Loss from house property, you cannot set off against any head of income under the default regime. Like that, there are so much of deductions that you cannot claim. You should ensure that you write it in a sheet of paper, keep it readily available, so that before you enter into examination hall, you quickly revise this. Second, meaning of salary under different circumstances. This will get confused. Many people get confused on this. For example, HRA gives different meaning of salary. It is basic pay, dearness allowance forming part of retirement benefits, commission as a percentage of turnover. Under gratuity, covered under gratuity, it is basic pay plus dearness allowance. Not covered under gratuity, it is basic pay plus dearness allowance forming part plus commission. You should take average salary for last 10 months. Like this, there is a different meaning of salary under different circumstances. Even if you go back to section 80 CCD, that is NPS, there is a different meaning of salary. Perquisite gives a different meaning of salary. Again, write it in a sheet of paper. Keep it readily available. Just before you enter in the examination hall, read it. Because you will get confused with all these things. Next, third, meaning of relatives under different circumstances. In salary itself, for leave travel concession, relatives would mean spouse, children restricted to 2, multiple births will be counted as 1, parents, brothers and sisters who are dependent. In case for medical benefits, it is spouse, children, there is no restriction here, then parents, brothers and sisters. For perquisite, spouse, children and their spouse will also be considered as, like that. There is a different meaning. Section 18, section 56, there is a different meaning for relatives. Again, write it in a sheet of paper, keep it readily available just before you enter into the exam and all, read it. These are the 3 things. Deduction, mandatory. The salary, definitely one problem will be there, where you need to know the meaning of relatives, meaning of salary, relatives, definitely there will be one problem. You should know meaning. So these three, just before you enter into examination hall, you should read these three. Write it in a sheet of paper. Don't carry the sheet in the examination hall. Put it in your bag outside the examination hall before you enter. Don't do this, right? By mistake, no, in a hurry, you carry it in your, put it in your pocket and get into the examination hall. Sometimes they catch you, no unnecessary thing. So carefully ensure that you put it in the bag, keep it outside the examination hall. This is only for revising before you enter in the examination hall. And just ensure that you enter the examination hall on time. Remain silent, be calm, be composed. Those are all applicable for all the examinations, not only for tax papers. So I was telling you what you should do during the preparation stage. I was telling you what you should do while writing the tax papers. I was also telling you what you should do just before you enter the examination hall. Minutes before the examination hall, what you should do. Now, after you come out of the examination hall, do not discuss. This is something that I will tell. Do not discuss, because you might have made some silly mistake. You might not have made also, but you might have made some silly mistake. If at all you have made that silly mistake, you will feel very, very bad. And it is very difficult for you to concentrate for the next exams. So, how will you prepare for the next exam if you are not able to concentrate? So, you should be carefully coming out of the class. Don't discuss with anyone. Straight go to home, relax, start preparing for the next exams. Do not discuss. Now, last few points before we wind up the session. You should be staying very, very healthy for the exams. So, 2-3 points of discussion, which is generic, not specific for your tax. Generic points might be other faculties would have also told. Hariharan sir is an expert in this, but still at the cost of repetition, even I wanted to tell you on this. So, point number 1, avoid all junk foods. From now on till your examinations, if at all you are staying in home, avoid outside food. If at all you are staying in hostel, you cannot avoid, eat all proper healthy food. Avoid junk foods, pani puri, bel puri, this puri, that puri, all those things, please avoid. The 2 roadside chat, please avoid. And you eat that, you get your stomach upset. After preparing so hard, you are not able to write your exams. You cannot have any big pain than that. So avoid all junk foods. Sleep properly. I would only advise that you should hit the bed by 11 o'clock and get up by maybe by, or even 10 o'clock you can sleep, get up by 5 o'clock. Minimum 6.5 hours to 7 hours of sleep. Further, don't sleep 10 hours, 12 hours and all. When I say sleep properly, no, don't say I will sleep for 12 hours. No, we are not young kids, we are not buffaloes to sleep like this. So, minimum 6.5 hours, maximum till your examination, have 7 hours sleep. So 6 to 6.5 hours you sleep, so that your mind get relaxed. Only when your mind get relaxed, you will be in a better position to write your exams. And in case you are driving 2-wheelers, drive slowly and carefully. That too, when you are driving for examination, already you would be very tensed, thinking about the exams. So start very way ahead. Maybe start, if at all the examination center, it will take 20 minutes for you. Start like 40 minutes before and drive slowly, reach the place, relax, concentrate on the exams. That minutes before the exams you read, then get into the examination hall. If at all you have the habit of driving vehicles, drive slowly. That too, if at all you have got that Activa or Jupiter or Scooty, where the wheels are very small, don't do stunt in those bike. It is not for stunt. It is only to travel. It is only for travel mode. So please ensure you drive carefully, drive slowly, drive properly. Next, very critical, avoid social media. Everything you do, don't put a status. I am listening to Srinath lecture. Don't put a status. At least till your examination, avoid all social media. Facebook, what else? Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, um, Tinder. If at all you use Tinder, avoid. Your girlfriend, boyfriend, anyone, any other friend can also wait. Don't do. Wait for next 10 days. They can wait. So avoid all social media. Avoid distractions. You should read minimum 12 hours. Minimum 12 hours. When I say read minimum 12 hours, you cannot sit in front of a television, watch some match, and then do. No, that is not what I am saying. Reading means separately you should sit minimum 12 hours. You should read. Anything less than 12 hours is dangerous. So you should read for minimum 12 hours. Avoid all kind of distractions. So this is what I thought I will help you. In case you have got any specific doubts relating to tax, you can let me know. Someone has got doubts, I can try clarifying. Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. This is all I thought I'll just help you. Thank you, sir.
Hope you enjoyed the session, all of you. Any doubt, you can be in the question to ask now. Aditya, Agida, Vijay, Raghavan. The doubts in the Keklam. Good. Any YouTube live students, if you have any doubt, you can ask, you can text me. No doubts. Okay. Thank you so much, Srinath.
Thank you, sir.
for
Thank you,
valuable
sir.
contribution. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All the best, my dears. All the best
All
for
the best,
the
students. All the best for you. Thank
yeah. Tomorrow also we are having the session. Tomorrow we are having marathon session from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Costing marathon session available. Morning 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And night also we are having presentation tips. Yes, some strategic management presentation tips that has been postponed last week, am I right? Through 4 days back. That's tomorrow we are going to conduct. Strategic management presentation tips night 9:30 to 10:30, same timing only. Okay. So tomorrow morning 8 o'clock in marathon class we can meet again. Thank you all of you. Thank you, Srinath, once again.
you.
Bye-bye.